So I said a lot of things in episode 6 about my thoughts on AI and the dangers that it poses, but after having thought about it for a little bit, maybe I overreacted. Maybe it's not that dangerous, guys. We should trust AI, okay? Definitely don't listen to anything I have to say in this video about AI. What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Anderson here, and this is NCIS Season 21, Episode 5, The Plan. So this one was a pretty straightforward episode, not just in the case, but also in the personal stuff. Since we have Agent Knight's dad involved, she hasn't told him about Jimmy because there's this plan that she has. It's kind of the typical disapproving father storyline. And since he's an Asian father, that means there's emotional damage as well. And so Knight has not told her father about Jimmy. She hasn't told Jimmy that she hasn't told her father. And so there's all this big drama involved in this. And it's just pretty straightforward. By the end of it, you know they're going to make up. You know she's going to tell her dad about Jimmy. You know he's going to be fine with Jimmy. He does end up retiring at the end of this episode, and he does offer Jess his job, which would require her moving all the way to Japan, so of course she's not going to take it. But it did all come to a nice happy resolution. There was a weird moment with Jimmy where it seemed to imply maybe he's not fully happy for some reason. I don't know if that's going to lead to something later. On top of that, you've also got this weird story with McGee finding his half-sister because of a genealogy website. And it turns out his dad was a sperm donor. Which, even though it wasn't an affair that caused this to happen, it's still weird that McGee's dad didn't say anything to him. Like, hey, by the way, I'm donating some sperm. So there's a chance that there could be a kid born out of this. You guys might get like a half-sister. I don't know why. It feels odd for him to not say anything at all, for McGee to find this out because of a genealogy website. But the case itself has a lot of stakes to it. You've got these bioweapons being brought in. Very dangerous setup. And for the most part, it was fine. I do feel like it's a little silly that it all relies on this one kid who worked at this pirate-themed restaurant to essentially act as the bait to catch the guys that are trying to secure the bioweapon. So that was a little ridiculous. There were also some jokes about the pirate-themed restaurant that just led to some very uncomfortable silences where there should have been laughter. So that was very hard to watch. But all in all, I wouldn't say it was a bad episode. It was just okay. Nothing to really grip me, but a couple of good character moments throughout. But with that, we'll move on to the next episode. I'll see you there in a sec. And now episode 6, Strange Invaders. So what started off as seemingly just a funny little episode about, could be aliens. What if the aliens are out there? What if they exist? What if they killed this guy? Then turned into a very horrifying hellscape that the show just treats as either a joke or as a very sentimental moment, when in reality it's very indicative of where we're headed as a society and how terrifying it is. But no, guys, it's fine. Let's use AI to bring back the dead. That's genius. If you want to be a sick psychopath. Because first they treat it as a joke. You got this old granny who's apparently dead. Like, oh yeah, we used all this stuff about her to recreate her as AI. That is terrifying. Like, beyond the fact that it almost feels like a way to ignore somebody's death. It's definitely not a way to grieve. I already talked about this when I talked about Ironheart. When you lose somebody, the way to grieve is to not sit there and go, oh no, I can bring them back with AI. Like, that is not healthy at all. And yet it's just, oh, it's so funny, guys. Let's bring back Granny so we can talk to her. It's ridiculous. And the fact that it's being normalized now is honestly terrifying, that they think this is just a funny story that we can talk about. Or later on, sentimental, whenever this guy who built the AI after his son is sitting there acting like he's killing his son again. He's not. He's taking down an AI that is capable of killing tons of people. And clearly he didn't mourn his son's death properly if he created an AI based off of him. That's him trying to pretend like his son's not dead when he is. That's not healthy. And we just have to sit here and go, oh, guys, isn't this just so sad? It's like he's killing his son again. No, he's not. Again, I'm assuming, just like the writers of Ironheart, I'm assuming the writers of this episode would probably be offended if I said clanker. AI are not people, and trying to pretend like they are people is not healthy. But I'm sure we're going to start seeing that soon, because that's just the way our society's headed. And it's honestly disturbing. I know this will make me sound like some conspiracy theorist or whatever, but I don't give a shit. If you really think this is okay, you might need to get yourself checked out. So like I said, this is not a healthy way to look at death. To think that you can almost negate death by creating an AI based off of somebody who died. If somebody did this with my grandfather that I lost last year, I would be absolutely livid and disgusted. Because not only is that pretending like they're still alive when they're not, but also that's a potential way to spit on somebody's grave, to ruin somebody's legacy. I mean, just imagine they create an AI based on one of the celebrities that passed away in the past few years, and they have the AI come out and say some really awful shit. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I can't believe they thought that way. Well, that's the AI saying that. How do we know for sure that it's not just been misprogrammed? There's just so many ways that this can go bad, and yet people are just shrugging their shoulders. Oh, AI is not that bad, guys. I'm having to stay off Facebook again because the chat GPT pictures are once again blowing up my feed because all these people are like, oh, isn't this so fun? It blows my mind. Again, as many stories as we've had that have talked about the dangers of AI, the dangers of relying on it too much, whether it's Terminator talking about AI basically taking over, whether it's WALL-E, where we see how everybody let AI sort of run their lives and they got lazy and fat. Whatever the case, there have been so many stories warning us about the potential danger of using AI too much, using AI in ways like this. And we just go, those are just stories though. That couldn't happen in our real life. Someone would tell that to George Orwell, or I guess we could tell it to George Orwell's AI. Hey, guess what, George? Only some of what you talked about in your book came true, but not all of it. So I think we're okay overall. I'm sorry. I know I'm ranting about this, but it's just something that I'm kind of passionate about because it gets shrugged off so easily. And also especially because as somebody in the creative industry, and somebody who knows a lot of people in the creative industry, I'm seeing how it's basically starting to get used to replace talented people. And a lot of people don't seem to recognize that. As many people are like, oh, that's really cool, not realizing it's AI art. And I know artists who are losing out on jobs because companies just go, oh, well, I can just type this into a program and I don't have to pay anybody for it. So I do have a bit more of a personal stake in it as well. But even so, just thinking about it rationally, thinking about it from the point of view of this, it could potentially be dangerous if we continue on this path we're on. And people just shrug it off, act like it's no big deal. I don't understand. I don't get how people don't see it whenever we've had so many instances of people warning us about it. But whatever the case, I mean, the rest of this, all the stuff about the aliens and all of that, it was just whatever. I knew it was going to be the one politician or whatever that was involved. It's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure I understood this right. So she made a deal with these people who then took the technology and ran with it and decided to create all these drones. And she's like, yeah, that's why I asked you, because I knew we needed to get help to stop this. Aren't you responsible for this? Nothing happens to her, but I knew she was going to be involved though. She popped up at the beginning, said a few things. We didn't see her for the rest of the episode. I'm like, all right, well, she's involved somehow. Yeah, on the whole of it, I mean, the main takeaway from this for me is just that really disturbing story being treated as if, oh, guys, this is funny with the grandma, and then it's really sad with his son, and it's really not. But I could talk about this forever. Don't want to sit here and waste your time anymore, so that'll be it for me. With all that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that review. I hope you enjoyed it. First and foremost, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I love having discussions with people, so whatever your thoughts were, whether you agree or disagree with me, please leave them down below. Obviously, no spoilers. Also, if you did find yourself enjoying this review and you want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I also have a gaming channel as well as a channel where I talk about soccer, so if you want to give those a follow as well, that would be much appreciated. And lastly, if you want to help me improve upon the quality of these channels, I do have a Patreon. All of this is in the description below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.